Hello my witchy friends, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. My name is Sophie, I'm the Midwest Magician, and today I wanted to kick off a new series called Coffee and Crystals, where we share a cup of coffee and chat about some of the experiences that I have working with specific crystals. So today I made us a regular Italian roast coffee. I put in there 1 spoonful of cacao powder, a little pinch of cinnamon, a splash of almond milk, and I topped it off with a coconut whipped cream and another little sprinkle of cinnamon. This one's for you. Mine is right over here. And I don't want this to just be a one-sided conversation, so if you have anything to contribute, if you want to chat about today's crystal, please do so in the comments. I will be reading and replying to as many as I possibly can. But with that being said, let's get started. Cheers! So today we're going to be talking about selenite, but before we get started, I wanted to touch on 2 things very quickly. You don't have to spend any money in order to receive the magical and metaphysical benefits of the crystals that we're talking about. I do have a section closer to the end included where we talk about free ways to tap into the energies of these crystals. The next thing I want to talk about is that absolutely nothing on this channel is going to be medical advice. I am a certified Reiki practitioner. I do study herbalism. I do believe in alternative healing modalities. However, I do think these should be supplemental to any kind of medical care that you're receiving and not in place of any kind of medical care. If you do have medical concerns, I would highly encourage you to speak to a licensed physician. And with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about selenite. So, technically, this is not actually selenite. It is called satin spar. I don't have a piece of selenite to show you, but they are a part of the same family, which is gypsum. Since they have such similar qualities, and in my opinion are kind of like fraternal twins, I don't see the necessity of making a separate coffee and crystals about selenite versus satin spar. If you wanted to tell the difference, satin spar, like this, is going to give you a milkier, more chalky appearance. And if you were looking for selenite, it's going to be crystal clear, more like glass. And that's the main difference, is just kind of the milkiness of the crystal itself. Now, along with selenite and satin spar, we do have its other sibling, which is called desert rose. Desert rose comes in all kinds of sizes, however, not really different shapes. I have seen it to where it was all a part of the same cluster, which was very cool and very hard for me to pass on not bringing it home. And honestly, can I tell you a secret really quick, just as friends? These remind me so much of shredded mini wheats, and if you know, you know, but this is like my forbidden little breakfast. All jokes aside, don't eat your crystals, and I promise I won't eat mine either. Since selenite and satin spar are very closely related, they're all a part of the gypsum family, I will personally be calling all of the satin spar you see in this video selenite for video purposes, and I hope that's okay with you, but I did want to let you know that there is a difference. Selenite vibrates at a very high frequency, which I personally believe shines through whenever I work with this crystal. I believe it's about 245 MHz. Another very cool thing about selenite is that it emits negative ions into the air, which has amazing benefits for your mental and physiological health. And if you want more information about negative ions and why they are good for you and positive ions are not good for you, I have some articles linked in my description box below. So now that we've talked about the more scientific side of selenite, how do we use it as magical practitioners? I personally really like to use selenite not only to enhance the vibration of a room, but also for protection purposes. I find that since it is such a high vibrational crystal, when negativity is brought into the home, this works to help break it up and dissipate it out into the ether. It kicks out any of the negativity that people might bring home with them, whether it be me, my husband, or anyone we invite into the home. I do like to keep selenite right by the front door. Actually, if you watched my last video, I drew with selenite under my doormat a pentacle and then painted over it with a little concoction that we made together. But I feel that selenite really helps to dissipate negative energy right at the source. I like to keep selenite in 2 different types of rooms in my house. The first of which being rooms where there is a lot of conversation going on, especially rooms where we'll have guests come over and spend time with us. So for me, that is more likely going to be my dining room. I keep 2 of these massive chunks of selenite right on my hutch, which is my altar in my dining room. And I find that when people come over, it keeps the conversation very light, friendly, and intentional. The second type of room that I like to keep selenite in is rooms where we wind down. So that's going to be, of course, the bedroom and also our living room, which is where we go to hang out after we have dinner every night. And with putting it in the living room and the bedroom, we're really just tapping into the kind of peaceful and calming energy that it brings, not necessarily dissipating any kind of negativity. So going back to keeping selenite in the bedroom, I personally like to keep a chunk just like this on my bedside table. And what I do is take off any jewelry that I have been wearing that day. Typically it's my wedding band and engagement ring alongside my evil eye pendant, and I will place them around my little piece of selenite. And this clears them of any energies, completely cleanses them, and I find that it charges the crystals that are in the jewelry as well. And with the evil eye necklace, this catches a lot for me, so I do not want it to get overloaded. I do like to take it off as often as I can to get rid of any negativity so that it can continue to protect me. As a little tip, since we're still talking about rooms in the house, I personally would keep selenite far, far away from any rooms with moisture because it does dissolve in water, and I would hate for you to get yourself a piece of selenite and have it crumble apart because it was in a bathroom with a shower in it. Well, if I'm taking selenite out of the house with me for personal protection or just for peace of mind and mental clarity, I will take a little stick just like this, and in my jeans that I wear typically to work, they have a little pocket that I think is supposed to be for a lighter. I just slide that little sucker into the pocket, and I find that it helps me to kind of stay relaxed and calm throughout the day. And a lot of the time, things that typically would bother me just kind of roll right off my shoulders. And I do like to keep a little chunk in my car as well so that I don't get too frustrated with the other drivers on the road. In my Reiki sessions, be it on myself or somebody else, I like to take a big chunk of selenite like this, and I like to comb through the aura to kind of get anything that is trapped or unwanted within the aura out. And then I like to grab little chunks just like this and place one at the head, one on either side of the body, and one at the feet. Not only do I like to place it at the head because selenite is associated with the crown chakra, but I feel like it creates a great energy flow, and it allows me to tap into that crystal's energy for the healing session. Hi, it's Editing Sophie. I'm so sorry to cut in the middle of the video. I'm here with Hazel, and we realized that I did not film a transition from talking about using selenite in a Reiki session into tapping into the frequencies and energies of selenite without having it physically present. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. And hopefully you don't have to see me anymore for the whole video in my editing form. The first way that we can tap into selenite without having it present is by using color. Not only can we use sympathetic magic by tapping into the physical color of selenite, which again, this is satin spar, but it's gonna have that kind of sheen to it and that kind of like milky white. You could use that color to tap into the energy of selenite, or I have linked in the description box down below this little color chart that I found that links vibrational frequency to color frequency, and how they figure that out and what math they use is so beyond my comprehension. But what I could find was that 245 MHz was the closest to yellow on the color spectrum. So we can tap into selenite not only sympathetically through the color that it physically appears to us as, but we can tap into it using the color yellow. So keeping yellow in, like I said, the high conversation areas of your house, or keeping yellow in the areas that you want to wind down could be a great way to use the energy of selenite. The next way is going to be using sound, and I have 2 different ways to do that for you. So the first of which, similarly to our color chart that we have in the description, I also have a sound chart down below, and selenite 245 MHz was somehow, some way mathematically translated to a B note. So you can play B notes. If you have a singing bowl, you can use a B note singing bowl. If you don't, YouTube videos, there are tons of them of people using singing bowls, and you can use those videos if they're using a B note as well to get the same vibrational frequency of selenite in your home for free. The other way is to use meditation music or binaural beats. So you can look up 245, I think on YouTube it's HZ. That's where I've found the most videos, and I can link some of those in the description box down below as well. But you can play that kind of meditation music around your house as well to get that high frequency going in your home. The last way we can tap into selenite without having it physically with us is by working on your higher chakras, and most notably your crown chakra, as it is the one that is associated with selenite. So you could either use a combination. You can use something yellow on your crown chakra. You can play B note singing bowls on YouTube. You can play the meditation music that ties to the frequency of selenite, and you can meditate on your crown chakra. We need to get it back to homeostasis, be it overactive or underactive, but that is a great way to get your energetic body in line with the frequency of selenite. Well, my coffee is almost gone. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I hope you can bring some of this information to your own life and practice. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm to recognize my channel. If you are not yet subscribed, I would love to invite you to hit that subscribe button. No pressure at all though. And I would love to hear about your personal experience with selenite. Please let me know how you've worked with it in the comments down below. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for having this coffee date with me.